So as I said before, I thought I was done with Fantastic Four first steps, but it just keeps on getting more woke, and the fans are destroying it, rightfully so, because the entire thing is written.
It's Fantastic Four.
I'm retarded?
I'm gay.
But before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I don't care that much for Fantastic Four first steps. I'm probably not even going to watch it, it sounds so bad. But I'm just finding it funny to keep on destroying it every week. And every single moron who is involved in the making of it. Being Vanessa Kirby, the feminist hag, who's just too old to play Sue Storm. And then we also have Johnny, the flaming gay Storm, who just acts like an autistic spastic.
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world.
What are you, retarded?
President more times doesn't make it go faster.
But fine. What are you, down?
Then of course we have our main amigo, Mr. Fantastic at eating tacos and stretching over the border, Pedro Pascal.
You are going to be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth.
We've had a lot of retarded trailers, teasers, posters, and clips about this movie. Every single one just gets worse. But from a brand new rumor and leak here, it seems that everybody might even be turning on Fantastic Four first steps. Oh yeah, and before I even get onto that, I just want to mention that they did some promo video here, and it looks like the most retarded thing ever. It looks like either four people who were high or who were just spasticated, standing up, waving around their hands. Not to mention Pedro Pascal's past antics, where he just grabs onto any woman that's next to him.
He's anxious. He usually tries to have contact with someone, and this is what happened at the Comic-Con 2024.
Here we have the main story. It says that two separate sources confirm that the ending of Fantastic Four is a complete disaster and the fans hate it. And it's actually really hard to find online, because just this morning I could look it up right away, and for some reason it's disappeared. So I'll put it on the screen right now. But I think last night the ending was shown to some people, and apparently it's rumored to be Sue Storm on a spaceship giving birth to some child, being chased by fake Silver Surfer, who is not Norman Rad from the comics, but instead some random bitch who nobody knows. And Gaedro is trying to help deliver the baby, and then it ends up going into a black hole or something. So that's the ending to your movie. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a load of crap. And that seems to be very common with Fantastic Four. The people who are behind this bullcrap garbage movie are idiots, and it's shown every single time they speak, talking about how they're taking exactly from the original comics, talking about the family dynamic that the actors have created, and how faithful it is to the source material. Mr. Fantastic is not white. Sue Storm is 50 years old and pregnant. We haven't even seen one movie with this brand new Fantastic Four, and you're already putting it in the story that they're having a kid or something. Not only that, but they're trying to fit in Galactus and fake Silver Surfer all into the same story. And then apparently with the brand new Avengers Doomsday, all of these people are going to be in that movie as well. To me, it sounds like Marvel doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and they're just changing the universe and changing what's happening every single week to fit them. Remember when it used to have a continuity and you could actually tell what was going on? And don't even get me started with the far more superior Marvel comics that have great crossover events and continuity. This is just retarded, and a lot of people are predicting that this is just going to be a flop. I know people want to prove me and people who agree with me wrong, saying that Superman and Thunderbolts and this movie are all amazing successes that everybody loves. But in truth, nobody wants to watch Fantastic Four first steps. And to be honest, it's much more entertaining to laugh your ass off at this woke piece of trash instead of actually watching it. So this was just a short video, but if you agree with anything I said, do let me know. And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.
Another. We need to go. Or the garbage gets destroyed by fans. Okay.
So I was basically done with the Woke-tastic Four and Pedro Pascal, but after some new test screenings, they've just pulled me back in and proved that I was right.
I think the elevator. I can just fly there.
How President more times doesn't make it go faster.
But fine.
Shut the fuck up! But if you like these videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me on Patreon. So we'll start with the fake bullcrap biased news sources first. This fake shill account is just putting out lies and just avoiding the truth. So the supposed test screenings say that Galactus is terrifying and the best part of the movie. And his design looks like he was ripped straight from the comics, which is a lie, I can just tell you right now. Movie feels Lovecraftian and has...
You've seen the picture, right? How is it not comic accurate? I mean, he doesn't even look like a space cloud. Okay.
Cosmic horror and yeah, stop lying, you retard. You're avoiding the real truth about these test screens. And all it takes is to scroll down and you realize that he knows this. Somebody pulls him up and says, conveniently leaving out criticism. And this retard goes, yup, and I'll do it again. And he ratios the guy. Putting in this gif, which basically spoils the rest of my video and tells you why the Fantastic Four is going to be crap. And this Empire magazine advertisement right here does the exact same thing. So what's the first thing you notice when you look at this picture? Except the obvious stuff like Mr. Mexico, Gabriel Pascal, and flaming Johnny Fat. It has to be the fact that feminists too old for the role. Sue Storm is in the middle. She's front and center. So basically, I was right. I hate to be that guy, but it's not rage bait and it's not clickbait. This movie is going to be woke garbage because of feminist Sue Storm, Mr. Mexico, and gay Johnny Storm, the female fake Silver Surfer. So right here we have the real test screenings that are telling you the truth. They're not some biased account that's a retard. So it says the exact same thing with the positives, but then it actually gives you the negative. You know what a real criticism is? Not some biased crap that is lying to you. And once again, it just proves me again, and I'll just be honest, it's not just me, it's everybody who actually agreed with me on my videos. It's everybody who called this bullcrap out online and actually took a stand against it. If you did that, well done, because you were correct. The movie was criticized for its weak character development and its underutilization of Reed's powers and a minimal use of the Thing. So you're telling me that Mr. Mexico himself, it's annoying that he's a race swap and he shouldn't be anywhere near the movie, The Gay Freak. But he's not even going to be in it. It's all about feminist Sue Storm. And maybe I'm being incorrect. I haven't read that much Fantastic Four. If you're a comics expert out there, then correct me. But isn't Fantastic Girl called Fantastic Girl and not Fantastic Woman? Because back in the 60s, people actually knew how to write interesting characters that you cared about and didn't make feminists who are actually just 40-year-old bitches who shouldn't be anywhere near the role. Once again, you'll have the and freaks defending this, like I'm about to show you. But I think it was Chuck Dixon, the comics legend, who said that there's going to be a market for the wokeness. We're not at the point where it's going to stop. It's just going to keep on continuing. And at this point, some people are actually beginning to like it. It's posts like this that really prove that, where you have people who are just ignoring feminist Sue Storm, Johnny Storm being really gay, Mr. Fantastic. We're getting a Fantastic Four movie with a great cast, a great story, based on a great comic, and the team actually cares about the source material? No, are you mentally slow? What are you talking about? They care about the source material. I swear, these people are the most retarded things on earth. I've said enough about race-swapped Reed Richards, which shouldn't be in the movie and proves why it's not accurate. Then you have feminist Sue Storm, and then you have Johnny, the flaming gay Storm. And then you also have this, Empire magazine front cover. It's the cover of the Silver Surfer and Galactus. Where's Silver Surfer? I can't see him. Hold on, let me look closer. I can't really see Norenrad. Oh yeah, it's because there's just some young bitch playing Silver Surfer. Who are the people who are actually liking this? People like this. I think Marvel is finally back. Yeah, you need to go back to the hood. And speaking of people who are absolute spastics, we get to Joseph Quinn talking about his adaptation of Johnny Storm, talking about the much more superior Chris Evans in the role, saying that he was branded as a womanizing devil-may-care guy. Is that sexy nowadays? I don't think so.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
I don't think that you should be allowed to
claim that Johnny's way more than that. That him being a hothead womanizer is a facade. I don't see the problem here. It happened in the comics too when he was involved with Crystal. I really don't get this dude.
talk about characters that you know nothing about. And I don't want to know what you find sexy, which is probably men, by the way. The garbage just keeps on piling up higher with this absolute dumpster fire, and I don't think it's gonna stop. So let's just do a quick review. Mr. Mexico is still in the movie, but he's not really gonna be a big part, because that's gonna be reserved for feminist, fantastic women. Galactus is terrifying and great in the movie, and really accurate to the comics, which is a lie. And Johnny Storm is a queer. I think that's it, right? I got everything. Fantastic Four First Steps is gonna be garbage, and everybody got to do with this movie is retarded. So if you agree with anything in this video and you realize that Fantastic So we have yet another race swap of a beloved character, and nowadays this is just becoming normal. Before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So this is the new cast for the Harry Potter TV show that has a lot of people annoyed. Yeah, I've watched the Harry Potter movies. I wouldn't really consider myself a big fan of it or anything, but I do believe that it should be respected. And what's going on here is the absolute opposite of respect. So yeah, this looks pretty normal, right? The cast of Harry Potter... Oh wait, there's a random black guy playing a character who's clearly white. Oh yeah, and look, it's the three main people of Harry Potter. But where's Hermione? Hermione's white. Where is she in this image? Oh wait, that black person is Hermione. And before you come at me complaining about how there was no race described exactly in the book, these same people said the same about Snape, and it's just not true, as you can see on the screen right now. So it's bad enough that Snape isn't white, but they've also race swapped Hermione, which shouldn't be played down or ignored. And as I said, as somebody who's not even a big fan of Harry Potter, I can see that this is absolute bullcrap. And like we've seen with the recent Fantastic Four and Ironheart, people don't want to see race-swapped versions of their favorite characters. Nobody wants to watch Fantastic Four with Mr. Mexico, Pedro Pascal, and nobody's going to want to watch fake Harry Potter when most of the main characters are black now. And this leads me to my problem with grifters in the anti-woke right-wing sphere. I don't really consider myself part of that at all, because most of the people within that are just hacks who are lying. And yeah, some of them I do respect, like Yellow Flash or Heel vs Babyface, but someone like Nerd Roddick here is just talking out of his ass. And that's not to say that this guy hasn't done good stuff, but what he's saying here is just crap. So we have the race swap of Hermione, and he says, this is fine, Black Snape is dumb. So you have a problem with Black Snape, but you don't have a problem with just another character being race swapped. Why? Is it because it's a kid actor? Because I've seen that argument saying, don't attack these kids just because they're race swapped. You're in Harry Potter. People have free speech. They can say whatever the hell they want about you, especially when you're in some massive TV show playing a very beloved character. So no, this is not fine. It's not something to be ignored, and if you're doing that, then you're letting them win. If you come over here, there's yet another person from the anti-woke grift called Nina Infinity, and because she's a naive woman, she's saying, oh, I find them all cute, I don't really hate it. Yeah, it's still a race swap. You can't pick and choose when to dislike it. All race swaps are bad. It's a massive problem in media in general. You can't say that the one with Snape sucks, and now this one, oh, I like it because they're cute. Shut up, you bitch. And this is another one. I don't know who the hell this bitch is either, but I'm pretty sure she's from Geeks and Gamers. And she's saying that this casting is totally fine, and that the Snape casting ruined it for her. No, once again, you don't get to choose which one is fine for you. All race swaps are bad, and you've committed to that by being part of this grift. You can't just come in and say, oh, I like that race swap, but I don't like this one. These people are unauthentic pieces of crap who do not speak what they're thinking. They don't speak the truth. They're speaking this grift because in reality, they're not right-wing or anti-woke at all. They're actually a bunch of liberals who will just eat up whatever they're fed, masquerading as this brand new rebellion against the system. And as I said a second ago, I do respect Heel versus Babyface. Maybe I'm misconstruing it. He is right that all of the other castings don't matter when you've just race swapped Snape. But also, you're kind of wrong, because it does matter that it isn't just one character being race swapped. I also saw this that I thought was funny and accurate, even though the profile is a Mexican masquerading masquerading as a member of the Third Reich. But what he's saying is actually true, because the story of Harry Potter does not fit race swaps, because then Snape is going to be some black incel following around Harry Potter's mother, and Draco Malfoy isn't going to be screaming at Hermione because she's some sort of mudblood. No, he's just going to be a racist white kid.
Filthy little mudblood.
And all of this might be on purpose so they can turn Harry Potter into a tale about racism and how white people are evil. So this really isn't anything new, a race swap of a beloved character and multiple within one TV show or movie. We're just getting a new one of these every week. The only thing that's surprising is the fact that they didn't race swap the one redhead character. But look around, it isn't just one TV show. Donald Trump isn't getting rid of the wokeness, and there's a brand new wave of movies that aren't going to be woke and do this crap. It's been going on a lot longer than people ever want to admit. It's not just since 2016, it's not just since the 2000s, it goes back to like the 80s and 90s. Like in Batman 89, Harvey Dent is black. For some odd reason, it shouldn't really make a difference. Why couldn't you just cast a white actor? Like the Flash CW show, many people love that show, and I actually had to do the research myself to figure out that Wally West and Iris West are white. They're not some black family that Barry moves in with. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Electro, a villain who is clearly white, is for some reason black now. The Batman 2022 with Robert Pattinson. Oh, it's a great movie. Then why is Catwoman black, complaining about white privilege?
All anyone cares about in this place are these white privileged
She's
assholes.
Shut up, bitch!
And why is Jim Gordon, another redhead, get race swapped? The Avengers back in the 2000s is a great movie that everybody watched, right? Samuel Jackson was great as Nick Fury. Well, Nick Fury is white, and he doesn't look anything like Samuel Jackson. And the more and more you tolerate and forget about it, like Nerdrotic and the rest of the grifters are doing, saying that this is fine, that it doesn't matter, that only certain race swaps are bad, then they're just as woke as all the liberals that they attack. But the funny part is that I'll end on, is that nobody's gonna watch We Was Harry Potter with smoke alarm Snape and black Hermione. They're going to be learning the magical arts of fried chicken seasoning, basketball, and fentanyl overdose. So if you made sense of anything I said in this video, maybe consider subscribing. And if you're one of those woke freaks or a
Yeah, no thanks. Let's see here. Pedro Pascal's disturbing past exposed.
So, there's some new leaks and rumors about Avengers Doomsday and Fantastic Four. And if you thought it was bad before, it got worse. And I know I've said that last time, but now I've uncovered something which is kind of disturbing. But before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon, so I can keep making videos like this. Okay, before I get into the absolutely disgusting story about Pedro Pascal, we're gonna have to cover the Avengers Doomsday story first. So this might be one of the only good things about modern Marvel I've heard. Ryan Gosling is being eyed for the role of Ghost Rider. Now, I'm not the biggest Ryan Gosling fan just because he took his shirt off in some movie for women, but the guy's a hell of a lot more masculine than Pedro Pascal and other stars that will be in the new Marvel movies. And also, let's just admit it, he's white. So I'll say it, maybe I was wrong. I thought that they were going to go with Robbie Ray's Ghost Rider to be extremely woke, but if it's Ryan Gosling, he'll probably be playing Johnny Blaze. And if they handle this right, he could be a really cool character and one of the only good things about Avengers Doomsday. And if you're asking why would he be one of the only good things, it's an Avengers movie, it must be great. Well, just take a look at this. So people already kind of know this from leaked photos and rumors about the actors that are going to be in Doomsday. But this leaked thing that it could be fake, I don't know, but it basically confirms who will be in the movie. Chris Hemsworth playing Thor. At least it's not the female Thor, even though this guy still sucks and is nothing like the comic version. Yeah, that's where everything good stops, except for maybe the X-Men, which aren't even the real X-Men, because where the hell is Wolverine? You're telling me Hugh Jackman could be in Deadpool and Wolverine, but he can't be in this big movie. It's still cool that they have Gambit and Cyclops, but my theory would be that they'd just be secondary characters to, I don't know, the Thunderbolts, and here we go, the big one, Riri Williams.
Something
Important.
iconic.
What is it, my fault? You're twice as likely to be robbed by a black?
So We Was Iron Man is in the movie. You know, the character that nobody cared about in the comics. Nobody's gonna watch the brand new show with the scumbag Ryan Coogler. So we have black ugly female Iron Man, and then we also have black Captain America. Who else do we have? Fake Shang-Chi, who instead of being Bruce Lee is instead some weak cock. And then you also have these random side characters from Thunderbolts, and then you have Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, which were terrible castings at the time and are still terrible now. You also have Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, which is a crap casting. Doctor Doom, which is a crap. You also have Robert, who were terrible castings at the time and are still terrible. And then you have Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, which were terrible castings at the time and are still terrible now.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Those are not terrible castings, though. They were like the pinnacle comic book castings, most popular X-Men characters in history. I don't know where you got that take from, but that is not even true, dude. Or let me guess, Ian McKellen's gay. Is that why you didn't like him as Magneto? Oh, he's homophobic too, man. Wow.
Of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, which is a crap casting, yet retards online are finding a way to get mad because they whitewashed him. Dr. Doom is white, you retard. What are you talking about? And speaking of characters who should be white, yet aren't, for some odd reason, we also have the Fantastic Four, led by Pedro Pascal.
He's a fag.
And that takes me to where this story kind of stops being funny and retarded and just becomes straight up disturbing. So news has came out saying that David Tennant wanted to be Mr. Fantastic. You know, the guy who had a full awesome TV show as Doctor Who, being a super smart guy in a sci-fi world. And he's white and looks like Reed Richards. I don't care what anybody says, you can make the argument. This guy would be 10 times better in the role. Just compare the two pictures. You have David Tennant looking like Reed Richards, and then there's some gay Mexican dude crying because ICE is after him or he dropped his taco. And if you thought that that was bad enough, now we get to what the whole video was about. And yeah, I wasn't clickbaiting you. This is something that's seriously disturbing, yet not that many people even are choosing to see. And I don't want to be that guy, but I basically predicted it. People were coming at me saying, why is Pedro a freak just because he likes to dance and be gay? Yeah, he's more than just a gay Mexican dude. The dude's family are evil. And no, they're not just evil because they're dirty communists. There's a deeper truth in here that not that many people have uncovered. So I'm not going to read that out loud because, I don't know, it could get me kicked off YouTube or something. But basically, Pedro Pascal's dad, who changed his name and tried to hide his past, did some really mad stuff. You can read it on screen right now. And Pedro Pascal just hides from it. So let me just replay the clip once again.
And I want very much to live on the right side of history, and I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile. Very much to live on the right side of history, and I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile.
Yeah, my parents, they were refugees. They fled from Chile. They did this, they did that. Yeah, your parents were freaks, just like you. They didn't flee because there was a Donald Trump fascist figure in their country. They fled because your dad was a freak who should get prison for life or get lynched or something. And all over the comments there's people forgiving this, saying, oh, there's no way Pedro knew about this. I'd be in agreement with you if Pedro Pascal himself nowadays wasn't a complete retard. And that isn't an opinion, it's a fact. The guy is doing stuff that somebody at the lead of a kid's Marvel movie should never be doing. I'll just say it, if you're trying this hard to cover up your past and you're actually going the opposite, you're telling people to feel bad for your innocent little family, screw you. I don't care. You're evil and you probably don't belong on this earth. And if you're tolerating that and trying to hide it, then the same goes for you. Literally, this is just proof of what I say in almost every video. Don't give your attention and time to these big Hollywood elites. It's not just an opinion, it's fact that most of these people are freaks. You can't get to the top of HBO, Netflix, Disney, the Oscars, Marvel if you're not a freak. It's just how Hollywood works, and if you're choosing to ignore it, then screw you. This goes beyond left and right and politics. I'm being all serious here. If you have any morality, you'll realize that Pedro Pascal is not a good person. It's not because because of his politics, it's not about his race, it's not about anything. The dude is just terrible and just says a lot about Hollywood and modern society, that our heroes are actually gay Mexican freaks who are evil. So if you agreed and you can see through the book.
Watch another one.
Okay, so some news has dropped about Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and Avengers Doomsday. And spoiler alert, it's not good news, because most of these are probably going to be woke disasters.
What the fuck is that?
But before I get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider supporting me over on Patreon, so I can keep making videos like this. So, I'll cover this one first. Spider-Man Brand New Day will now release before Avengers Doomsday. Now, I don't really care about any of these, and I don't think most people will either. Every single time I see something about Avengers Doomsday, I get hyped up, and then I realize what it really means. It's not Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. It's not even Scarlet Witch, and Vision, and Wasp, and Ant-Man. No, it's Black Captain America. You know, the one that nobody watched, and he's probably going to be the leader of the Avengers. And don't even get me started as weak Tom Holland's portrayal of man, because that's what he is. He's getting punched in the nuts and made fun of by black, ugly Zendaya. So I don't really care if there's another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I don't care if it's releasing before the next Black Avengers movie or after it. And I don't think a lot of the fans do either, because Tom Holland has never been good as Spider-Man. Like, not one time. But Marvel thinks that with the new success of Thunderbolts, then people are going to be in store for a great new Avengers. We don't care about Avengers if it isn't the real Avengers. No one wants to see the race-swapped, gender-swapped, off-brand B-team. And just like every other piece of news about Avengers Doomsday, it's making it sound like the movie is gonna suck. Like this: Ghost Rider will reportedly appear in Avengers Doomsday. Sounds awesome, right? Maybe we can get a new casting for Ghost Rider to play the badass original Johnny Blaze, or even the second and only other version of Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. Well, because this is a new Marvel movie, you know they're not gonna do any of those two characters. You know, the ones that built up Ghost Rider and that people actually like. And yeah, you guessed right. They're gonna go with the taco-eating, illegal immigrant, border-hopping, new Ghost Rider, who doesn't even ride a bike, I'm pretty sure. So therefore, you're barely even Ghost Rider. We saw this in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, where they just ignored the Ghost Rider that people actually like. And I just pray to God that the scumbags behind Marvel don't get their grubby hands on any other great characters. Like Richard Rider Nova, for example, has been rumored to have TV shows and movies, and I just pray that he doesn't, because God knows what Marvel will do. Like we've seen with Ironheart, they'll just make the wokest thing possible and gaslight people into thinking it's a success and it's good. And that leads me to the main topic of discussion, one that I've spent the last two videos talking about, and I don't really care. I'm going to continue talking about it. The fact that Fantastic Four First Steps and Pedro Pascal are two abominations. So you see here, Marvel Studios reportedly has plans to include Silver Surfer in multiple projects after Fantastic Four First Steps, including a solo film. As I just mentioned, God knows what this means, a solo movie and many other projects. So are we talking about the real Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad, or are we talking about the fake gender swap that no one likes, by the way? You can go all across social media. Nobody wants to watch this movie because of the weird 2000 CGI gender swap. The original Fantastic Four movie actually looks better. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Marvel getting their hands on characters that are beloved and just destroying them. And they're doing it to every character that was once normal. White characters who were straight have to be Mexican and gay. You know who I'm talking about. The main amigo, Pedro Pascal.
To be.
Are you gay? Are you gay?
I'm not going to talk about that guy again, but he's utterly disgusting and he shouldn't be allowed in the main lead of a Marvel movie, let alone a white character who he looks and acts nothing like. And by the way, he acts really weird. But Marvel have already gotten to all the characters, so it's just kind of a losing fight. Even if the fans still exist and hate this, we can't really do anything. You're not going to get a movie of Silver Surfer going through space being a badass. I haven't read that much Silver Surfer other than the Annihilation Saga that everybody everybody should read if you call yourself a comic book fan. So if you got any recommendations for the character that actually represent them, then I'll be glad to read them. But Silver Surfer as a character is already someone that the general public doesn't really know about or care about. And gender swapping him isn't making that any better. So let me just do a quick little recap of what we're getting. So, gay Reed Richards, who's Mexican, gender swap Silver Surfer that nobody likes. A C-grade Avengers movie, if you could even call it that, because it doesn't have one Avenger, even though the people on Twitter and TikTok, these gay c***s, will be glazing it 24/7. Oh yeah, and I left out the best one of all that we should all be hyped up for. Another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Do you think there should be a gay Spider-Man? I think that would be a very progressive way to kind of create a new character. So yeah, I think there should be one day.
You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit.
I don't know about you, but I'm basically done with Marvel, especially when the best they have in store is Black Captain America, female Silver Surfer, and gay Tom Holland. But as I've seen with my recent videos and people all across the internet, there is a fan base of the original comics and characters. And movies. People don't really want to watch crappy movies. So there is people out there who are willing to fight. Even though shills and fake people will say that all of this is epic and we're all so hyped, in reality, nobody really cares. And just to end this off, remember how the phrase used to be, go woke, go broke? Well, nowadays, it's something a little different. It's go woke, and gay freaks all over the internet will love you. And real people who shouldn't be institutionalized for mental illness will realize that your movies suck. But that's all I have to say today. If you agree with anything that I said, so, if you can even believe it, Pedro Pascal somehow got worse.
I'm retarded?
I thought that he was bad before, but after this new video, the guy is a freak. And also, I'm going to talk about the Superman trailer, which in my opinion has potential to be great, but ends up being trash. But before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon, and it would be greatly appreciated. And also, I want to say thanks for all the hundreds of subscribers that I've received, and all of the angry hate comments from woke freaks. So, I'm not going to go on some tirade about Pedro Pascal once again. Well, I might, because the dude is kind of a freak. You can check out my last video if you want, where I talk fully about him. But this new video released after I made that one, and it just proves me right. I'm not even going to tell you anything, just watch it for yourself.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Ha! Gay!
Yeah, this is the guy who's playing Mr. Fantastic. So first of all, he looks and acts nothing like the character. Since when was Mr. Fantastic Mr. Fantastic, who has to stretch his way over the border? Put simply, Pedro Pascal, as an Irish person like me would say, is a handicapped spastic. And if you're American, you don't know what that means. Basically, the guy's retarded. Every time he opens up his mouth, every time he's on camera, he just shows it. He wasn't good as a Mandalorian. He wasn't good as Joel from The Last of Us, which sucked already, and he somehow made it worse. And he's not doing any better as Mr. Fantastic. And the same goes for everybody else in that movie, like the female Silver Surfer and the old hag playing Sue Storm. People like Pedro Pascal are a disease, and the only cure is to not give them the status of being a great actor that's in everything. And if I'm correct from the feedback I just received on my last video, nobody likes this guy. Why is he in everything? So you can cry on Twitter all you want, but Pedro Pascal and almost everybody in the Fantastic Four movie is not a good casting. Let's return to the days where people actually cared about the characters and the comics. And now onto the Superman trailer, which you might think differently, but in my opinion it had the potential to be good, but it just isn't.
Recently you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
Did you consult with the president? Seemingly acting as a representative of the United States
representing anybody except for me
around the world
and doing good. People were going to die.
What?
Yeah, so the first bit of the trailer basically sums it up. It starts out, good castings for Lois Lane and Clark Kent, and they're both acting like their characters, until Superman has a leftist freak out. I'm not joking, the dude just stands up and starts screaming about what he's representing and how he hates the president. We get it, James Gunn, and everybody at DC, and everybody who's liking this trailer. You don't like Donald Trump. And I'm not going to say Donald Trump is some sort of god that we should all love, but at the same time, nobody wants to hear about it, okay? We're watching a Superman movie. We don't want to hear Superman whine and start screaming.
People were going to die!
Compare this scene to the scene from Man of Steel, where Henry Cavill's much better portrayal of Superman is literally taken in by the military and under all that pressure just stays calm and talks about what he represents and what the S means.
What's the S stand?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
People were going to die!
Compared to this Superman, who gets his ass kicked by a dog and then flies around looking all retarded and then just has a meltdown, starts screaming about leftism. Isn't the whole point of Superman the fact that he doesn't have to go around and say, look how good I am, look how I'm saving people? He just does it. That's his character. And not only are they fitting in a Trump allegory, just like the woke dumpster fire that was Daredevil Born Again, they're also fitting in a narrative about cancel culture, and not in the way that you get cancelled if you call out woke bullcrap, but in the way that, for some reason, the leftist is the one being cancelled. People like James Gunn and Pedro Pascal live in this weird, warped world where they're living in 1984. They're living under the boot of tyranny, when literally they can do what they want. And yeah, the portrayal of Superman isn't exactly terrible, but woke, fake comic book fans online are arguing with people saying that, oh, you just don't like that it's being accurate, the fact that he's hopeful and it's all bright and colourful. The fact that he's wearing a bright and colourful costume and everything is hopeful is not the problem. The problem is the Trump allegory, the whole cancel culture narrative. He's getting his ass kicked by a dog and he can't keep calm under pressure. The guy just starts screaming about Marxism. And also in the trailer, there's this like female warrior going around with Lex Luthor who's just kicking everybody's ass. I don't care who this woman is and why is she on screen more than Superman in the pivotal moments of the trailer. Nathan Fillion, which was once an awesome actor from the masterpiece Firefly, is now this woke cock who's appearing in every new movie, and he's not any better here, where he's playing this weird version of Guy Gardner that just doesn't fit. You have Mr. Terrific, or whatever the hell his name is, some black dude in there to take on the white military. I don't care about him either. And then on top of that, there's just a big load of crap CGI of him flying, fighting these massive monsters. And just to end this off, this is coming from somebody who hates Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. I do respect Henry Cavill as Superman, and it's very clear that this movie is just copying everything from that. And even though Man of Steel sucks, this is somehow doing it worse. That's all I'm really going to say today. If you agree with me, then do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you got a problem and you're a woke freak who likes any of this,
don't want to fuck me up again. Don't want to give him the satisfaction. See.
So, the brand new race-swapped star of Fantastic Four First Steps, Pedro Pascal, has come out and made some comments that just proves that Fantastic Four First Steps will suck, and this guy is an absolute moron. But before we get into it, if you agree with the stuff I say and you want to help out the channel, then consider subscribing or joining my Patreon, and it would be greatly appreciated. So, for some Cannes Film Festival thing, Pedro Pascal has came out and made some comments, and guys like this shouldn't be allowed in superhero movies. They shouldn't be role models for kids watching Marvel movies, especially when they look this gay.
I'm gay.
But just have a listen to what this freak has to say.
I want people to be safe and to be protected, and I want very much to live on the right side of history. And I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile. I myself was a refugee. We fled a dictatorship, and I was privileged enough to grow up in the U.S. and after asylum in Denmark. And if it weren't for that, I don't know what would have happened to us. And so I stand by those protections.
Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.
So, I don't really care if you like Pedro Pascal as an actor or as an actual guy. The dude is a retard. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. He's a freak, and he has all these weird little things that he keeps on doing. Like, why are you shivering and stuttering like you're terrified, saying that I'm a refugee? Hey everybody, look at me. Please feel bad for me. You're the main lead in a Marvel movie. You're in almost every TV show and movie coming out nowadays. You have nothing to complain about, you spastic. I don't care about your socialist parents. I don't care about you being scared and you wanting to be on the right side of history, which you're not, by the way. And people who act this weak shouldn't be male role models nowadays. Compare somebody like Sylvester Stallone or Bruce Lee or Sean Connery, these legends of cinema that young men and kids around the world could look up to. Who's looking up to this fag? And just speaking more on the Fantastic Four movie, which I already did a video on, calling out the gender swaps and the race swaps, it's gonna be a load of crap. The director of it here has come out and just proved that even more. He's saying, I'm not looking so much at the other movies, I'm looking at the comics. I'm a huge comic book fan. He talks about the Jack Kirby stuff, Stan Lee, John Byrne, the new stuff. He's a massive fan, yet he's going the exact opposite of it. As I just mentioned, there's gender swaps and race swaps that just lack respect for Fantastic Four and these characters. You're not a comic book fan and you're not being accurate by changing people's races. Yeah, people corrected me last time going, Pedro Pascal is Chilean, he's from Chile. I don't care. Is he white? No? Okay, then you can't be Mr. Fantastic. And he says it again in the clip I just showed you a second ago, where he's pronouncing it like, Chile. I come from Chile and my socialist weird parents fled tyranny. I don't care. In fact, nobody cares. You're like a millionaire celebrity. Shut your mouth. And if you just look at what else this freak has done, it's just hilarious. Pedro Pascal calls J.K. Rowling a heinous loser after she celebrated the Supreme Court's ruling regarding trans women's legal identities. Let's see the exact comment that he made. Awful, disgusting crap is exactly right. Heinous loser behavior. And his handle is Pascal is punk. You're not punk. People who believe what you believe are not punk at all. You're just freaks. And believe it or not, this scumbag has a history of this. Like when he tried to get Gina Carano cancelled. And from this story, you can see back when Pedro Pascal knew Gina Carano, he tried to help her by saying, yeah, just put hashtag trans rights in your feed. Do it and they'll leave you alone. So Pedro Pascal's brother, that's who it is by the way, his brother, not his sister, is this mentally ill freak who thinks that he's something that he's not. So Pedro Pascal has this weird connection where he's gonna fight with everything against everybody who calls out trans people. And although there probably will be an army of MCU cocks and shills that'll watch Fantastic Four and say that it's amazing and a rebirth of superhero movies, it's not the truth. If you look at this here, the first trailer for Fantastic Four from 4 weeks ago has 19 million views. That's great, isn't it? It even has Pedro Pascal, the awesome guy on the front cover. Well, the Superman trailer from 2 days ago has 21 million views. So doesn't that just prove my point? That yeah, there will be freaks that'll love it, but at the same time, nobody really cares about the Fantastic Four starring Mexican Mr. Fantastic and the female Silver Surfer. The Superman trailer that I might do a video on wasn't even that bad, and that's why it has that much traction in just a short amount of time. Because bar some Trump allegory and some weird decisions in the movie, the Superman film actually looks entertaining. Now personally, I don't think I'm going to be watching it, but for the normies out there, they'll like Superman more than Fantastic Four First Steps, which, to be honest with you, coming from a comic book fan, the Fantastic Four are already a niche set of characters. Most people aren't really going to love them right away, so having this new movie be the first of many in a new age of Marvel superhero movies that are going to bring back the genre is kind of an odd decision from the get-go. But now, you have your main actors coming out, acting like freaks, like shivering and being like, my parents were refugees and oh my god, please feel bad for me. Shut up, you gay, non-white retard. And really, that's it. There's not much more to say. The Fantastic Four movie is not comic accurate, no matter what the freaky actors or the directors tell you. People who have a history of being freaks and acting mentally retarded should not be given the lead in a Marvel movie. And unfortunately, I'm at the point now where just screw Marvel and DC. Screw their comics and screw their movies. That doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Marvel and DC. I am a massive fan of both companies and what they've done in the past. But it's crap like this which just gives fans, real fans, a reason to just stop engaging in it. Stop consuming this slop. Made for who? Who actually likes Pedro Pascal? The same people who are ready at the drop of a dime to flood a YouTube channel and dislike stuff and leave a horde of comments that are all just saying retarded crap. The same people who back Pedro Pascal against Gina Carano. So if you're like me and you're done with Marvel and you're done with DC and you're done with these fake millionaire actors trying to complain about how they're a refugee, then reject this crap and return to the alternative of the original Marvel comics. The old Marvel movies that were actually good. And if you're just done with superheroes in general, then I don't really blame you because I'm in the same boat. So Thunderbolts and Superman and Fantastic Four is not the age of a brand new rebirth of superhero movies. In fact, it's the death. If you agreed with anything in this video, do let me know. And if So the trailer has just dropped for a brand new Iron Man TV series, and oh wait, it's not Tony Stark, it's some ugly black bitch who nobody cares about.
I want to build something undeniable, something
Important.
iconic.
I'm kind of retarded.
And wouldn't you know it, the person behind this woke piece of crap is the anti-white scumbag Ryan Coogler. But before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or becoming a patron so I can keep making videos like this one. Okay, so just about an hour and a bit ago, this was released. First word is already utterly insane. Iconic. We're obviously talking about Iron Man as in Tony Stark, the amazing comic book character that everybody knows. Robert Downey Jr. in the Avengers and his own film series. Oh no, you're talking about Riri Williams. Some character that was created like last week. Hashtag Ironheart, which nobody's gonna hashtag on Twitter, by the way. Marvel Television's all-new series from executive producer Ryan Coogler. So that explains it. The guy behind the new successful hit film Sinners, which is a load of garbage. Everything about this guy just embodies Black Lives Matter. And not only did he work on Sinners, which is a piece of crap, he also worked on the 2 Black Panther movies. You know those excellent Marvel movies? No, you don't, because nobody watched them, especially the second one, with race-swapped Namor and female Black Panther running around. And just before we go any further, let's actually look where I saw this trailer coming from, which is a massive account on Twitter that gives most people the news about upcoming movies. And they have only the accounts that Discussing Film mentioned who can reply. If you come over here again, they're posting up the poster, the marketing, trying to hype people up for this TV show. And only the people who they mentioned can reply. So it's very clear that they're not allowing anybody to speak their mind on this, because no one wants to watch this. The same way absolutely nobody read the comic, nobody read Ironheart, and nobody cares about Riri Williams. She's not even a character. The same with Miles Morales. Nobody cares about him. Is he Peter Parker? No. Then I don't want to hear about him. Is it Tony Stark? No. Then it's not Iron Man. But without further ado, let's actually take a look at this piece of trash.
I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
Waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I can chew a lot.
I could chew a lot.
You black spear chucker piece of shit!
Yeah, so basically none of this looks good. And if you think it looks good, you're clearly lying to yourself. And also, as I just mentioned, nobody really cares about Ironheart. But even if you did, this actress doesn't even look like the character. This looks like a 50-year-old ugly black woman who'd be in Walmart screaming about racism and food stamps or something. And also, before you come at me talking about how I'm bringing in race, this guy Ryan Coogler, all he does is make normal movies and TV shows, but make it all about black people. And almost every single person in this TV show is not white. And if they are, they're probably an absolute moron.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
So this new TV show isn't really trending. Nobody's really talking about it, proving my point. But I do think that some people do need to point out how kind of insane this is. Like this right here, Ryan Coogler and the behind the scenes of the all-new series talking about Ironheart.
I got into Marvel as a kid, going to comic book shop. I was really big on X-Men and all of the offshoots, like X-Factor and Wolverine. When Ironheart came out, I remember the buzz around the industry. I was really excited.
So I'm just gonna have to stop you right there, Ryan. First of all, can you open up your mouth when you speak? You sound like a gangster from the hood. Yeah, well, I was really into X-Men and I was into this. Okay, nobody cares if you picked up one X-Men comic book back in the 90s like everybody else did. And then also onto your absolutely retarded statement, because you yourself are retarded. You said that when Ironheart dropped, I just remember the buzz around the industry. There was just this massive buzz. No, there wasn't. Nobody knows what that is. They didn't know what it was back then, and nobody's reading it now. Well, nobody except black retards like yourself.
In 2016, Brian Michael Bendis, a really famous creative in the comic book world, created a character, Riri Williams. A lot of people think that she's a successor to the Iron Man legacy. But in the comic book, Riri and Tony had a friendship. He was kind of advising her, and eventually she got her own identity.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there again. I don't really know what you're talking about because of the accent or the way you're not opening up your mouth. It's kind of obnoxious and retarded. Brian Michael Bendis is not known for Ironheart and Miles Morales. The dude is known for his character-defining run on Daredevil. Maybe you should try reading any Daredevil comic, even the Brian Michael Bendis one, instead of Miles Morales and Ironheart, you spastic. So basically, he goes on talking, and I'm not really going to play any more of it because it's absolutely annoying. But he's talking about this character as if she's somebody who anybody even cares about. Really.
Buzz around the industry. I was really excited.
So I'm just going to have to stop. Yeah, well, I was really into like everything around the industry. There was just this nobody except black.
Bendis, a really famous creative in the comic book world, created a character, Riri Williams. A lot of people think that she's a successor to the character.
Maybe you should try reading any Daredevil comic, even the Brian Michael Bendis one, instead of Miles Morales and Ironheart, you spastic. So basically, he goes on talking, and I'm not really going to play any more of it because it's absolutely annoying. But he's talking about this character as if she's somebody who anybody even cares about. Really, stop using phrases like, yeah, in the comics, Tony and her were best friends, and in the comics, she wasn't even a successor to Iron Man. Like Miles Morales, she's doing her own thing, and she's probably better than the white dude. Yeah, that's not the way it works. And it always comes back to just that undeniable fact that Iron Man is a rich white guy, and people aren't going to watch if he isn't that. He'll never be some little black girl who's somehow smarter. Go back to the hood, you ugly black bitch. So you can drop your little Ironheart TV show and make the behind the scenes cringe videos like this one, but it doesn't change the truth, and the truth is that nobody knows what this is. I just found a few tweets saying crap like this. I'm fully prepared to give my life defending Ironheart from those people who hate her for just existing. You couldn't be more correct. With everything in my heart, I hate this character. I hate everything it stands for. I hate the people who are pushing the new TV show and talking about the character as if she even means something. Because if you're doing all of that, it can only mean one thing, and that is that you hate white people. So sorry to break it to you, but I'm gonna hate you back, and by God, I'm gonna enjoy it. So screw Ryan Coogler, and screw Ironheart, and screw all these people on the...
Well, that's all of it for today. Let's get seeing you guys in the stream. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.